Welcome to another episode of Interviews with the Forum Magazine, where we go beyond the surface and we focus on the ideas, mindset, and perspectives of each guest that we have on the platform, man. And today, we got two special brothers in front of us, but off the camera, man, we got collectively a bunch of brothers that beat the odds, overcame real difficult times to be out here as productive citizens, standing on all 10 as black men, and just right here in front of the camera, man, we got Auto X of Executive Protection in the D, and we got Rick X, HVAC handyman. What's going on, my brothers, man? How y'all doing today?
What's up, my brother?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Privilege to be here, my brother.
Yes, sir. If you can't put that,
no, you good. Privilege.
Yes, sir. Well, I appreciate you, brothers, for coming on the platform. As always, man, we like to tell brothers that we appreciate it. You can be anywhere, but you decided to come right here on the Forum Magazine, man. So it's definitely a pleasure to have y'all, brothers, man. Starting off the day, man, how y'all feeling today? What's been the vibes of the day so far?
Peaceful. Well, before I even start talking, we always want to pay homage, you know what I'm saying, to the one creator, you know what I'm saying, Allah God. We want to give him his due respect, as well as the brothers and sisters that paved the way before us. So we always do that before we open up and start talking about anything. We want to clarify that and get them their as we say nowadays, get them their flowers, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Absolutely. And, as brothers can see, if y'all can hold up what's around y'all neck.
Oh, yeah, this is the male nat.
Yes, sir.
This symbolizes many things. So a lot of people, when they first see it, it stands out as the red, the black, and the green, which the red symbolizes the blood, the black symbolizes the color, and the green symbolizes the land. And you'll see like two hands coming across the swords, which symbolizes the coming together from the east and the west. And then you have the swords that defends the righteous from the falsehood. And if you notice here, you'll see the open book. Half of it is the Quran, half of it is the Bible. And you notice that it's open, meaning that we accept truth no matter where it comes from, and that it's an open book for anybody to obtain knowledge. And then above here, you see you have the 7 flames. Each flame on here represents a different spirit. That you have like wind, earth, fire, water, time, space. And then you have the solar eclipse right here, which is within right here where you see the moon, the crescent, the dot, which symbolized the solar eclipse when Nat Turner came in the year of 1831 to prove and to provide that no man, woman, or child was meant to be the slave, beast, commodity, or burden of another.
Yes,
so
yes, sir.
That's what we represent. And we highly, highly, highly respect and honor this. This means so much to so many of our brothers and sisters, that was locked up in that belly of the beast,
And if I'm not mistaken, too, was this something that was founded in Michigan, if I'm not mistaken?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. Brother, if you can. You said Jackson Prison?
Yeah, Jackson Prison, 1982. Founded by, 12 brothers that came together on the yard and took pieces of all different religions and compiled to what we have now, the MIPRS, which was something that a lot of people think that couldn't be developed with all the negative mindsets that goes in there, which they came up with something as beautiful as this is our flag. This is what we represent. This is who made us who we are today.
Yes, sir.
We all went in as what they would call someone that couldn't have been rehabilitated. MDOC didn't rehabilitate us. MIPRS rehabilitated us. Right. It was this that made us be who we are right now today. This has helped us to reform ourselves to be men. We went in as kids, as children. We out here as men, showing others out here that we had been in your shoes. We don't glorify what you do. The things that the media, the radio station, and all these is pushing their narrative to put you there. We tried to stop you from going somewhere. We lost our whole teens and 20-something, 30s inside of there. We was like Joni in the well, and they pushed us out with nothing. We didn't have no incentive, no nothing when we came out here. And we came out here and we developed our own with the creative spirit that our ancestors breathed in us.
100%.
So that's why we are such a strong group of brothers that we are at, because we didn't have we was our own teachers. We was our own men. We didn't have fathers. A lot of us came from single homes, and we didn't know nothing but the streets, and the street didn't do nothing but teach us how to do what? Follow our footsteps in that that penitentiary.
100%. If you can, both of you brothers, Otto, starting with you, brother, how much time did you do in the penitentiary? And if you can, just talk about those initial experiences and just briefly kind of walk us through maybe like some of the things you've experienced and why it's important for, young men to understand what they getting themselves into, you know what I mean, when choosing a street life.
Well, I went to prison when I was 16. I got waived as a juvenile. I went as what we call with a small bit, doing 4 to 15. And, like a lot of people hear about how when you first go up in there, you got to either, stand tall or fall, And to be blunt with it, it was a different time period when I went to prison. I went in the 80s. So it was 3 rules. And I got to be blunt with it. You either gonna fuck, buck, or lock up. That's just the way that it was. You know what I mean? And at the time I was 16, a little pretty boy. So I had to hold my own, and I wasn't buying nothing. So hey, I was wild. I ain't gonna lie. I started out at MTU. They said, okay, we tired of you here. Send me to the gladiator school. I was on the same tip. I was wild. And guess what? I ended up in Jackson prison. Upon my travels, though, just when I became conscious and I became a Melanic, you know what I'm saying? Some brothers took the time to and teach me about my history and show me that there's more to it than just walking the yard and eating zoom zooms and wham whams and shooting ball. So I became connected, and one brother in particular, Brother Squeeze X, he's the first person that got my dough broke. Matter of fact, I went to the Nation of Islam service. So that's how I first even got in tune with, black nationalism and all that. So anyway, I ended up getting transferred at 19 years old to Jackson Prison. They violated their own policy because you're supposed to have been 21 to hit Jackson, but I was 19. I go down there, and unfortunately, I still had a little wildness in me, and I ended up catching a murder case down in Jackson Prison. So now here it is, a kid that was sentenced to prison from 4 to 15. Now I got charged with first-degree murder. However, I took a cop, and I ended up doing 10 to 15 on top of my bid. So what you end up getting is you got 14 to 30, basically. And I did 24 years out of those 30 years.
So if we can, just for a second, you started off doing 4 years in prison.
Yeah.
And this is a lesson for guys that end up going to prison. In your mind, you may think you're about to go, do your time, and get out. However, the politics, the just testosterone of a bunch of men being in the same environment with robbers, stealers, killers, manipulators, just all of these different things stirred in a pot. You don't know how that thing gonna end. You know what I mean? So, I'm glad that you, shared that so people can understand that it may not be as simple as they may think.
And I think me and you touched on that before in an offset conversation. People have to understand, especially for the youth out here. That's why we say you got to think before you do things, because you may say, oh, man, if I do this right here, that ain't no time. That ain't nothing but maybe 3 to 15. I might be 1 to 5. But what you don't understand is that once you get up in there, it's hard as hell to get up out of there. One thing can lead to another. You may have an op in there that's doing all day, and he know you only doing 2 to something. Guess what? You ain't finna just do that 2 to something, because he gonna put you in the position where you got to make another decision. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
so it's a lot of cats. Even someone came on your platform before, and they seem to me like they glorify the prison system. I don't glorify it. You know what I'm saying? I look at it as something that we achieved. You know what I'm saying? We went through hell. We shook hands with the devil. We didn't like his handshake, so we chose not to mess with him, and now we out here doing positive things.
100%.
But up in there, bro, it's basically 2 circles. You got an inner circle and an outer circle. Once you commit and you allow yourself to be in that inner circle, you in it. And that's what I did as a youth. And this brother sitting next to me as well. I had to slow him down a couple times because he was just as wild as I was. But once you get inside that inner circle, bro, you build what we call a reputation in the penitentiary. You know what I'm saying? So cats already know what it is. You know what I mean? So that's what happens. But you got a lot of fakers out here too, with guys that say, oh man, I was on the yard with such and such. We used to do this. I used to work out. Come on, man, quit capping. Cause see, we was all the brothers that y'all about to meet. We was all on the 4, 5s, and 6. That's what we did our bit at. You know what I'm saying? We sat in chow hall with the serial killers, the murders, all these guys y'all be rapping about. We took showers with them. We walked the yard with them. You know what I'm saying? We know what's about going to them guys scared to go out on call outs. We know about it. We did real hard time. So what the prison system did now, brother, is they designed what they call segregation units. They had them back then, but now they got even more. So now it's easier for a guy to go to prison and do his time because guess what? You can lock up. You can be inside a segregation unit, or they divide the yard where I won't even see you. Me and you in the same unit, but your yard is in the morning, mine is in the afternoon. We not even gonna see each other. You feel me? So I'm just saying that to say this, bro, that I'm tired of people getting on these platforms glorifying prison or making it seem like they was really about their life in there. You wasn't. We all know who was and who wasn't. You know what I'm saying? And we're not going to sit up here and call out names and say, oh, yeah, dog was a killer and he was this and he was that. If you know, you know.
Yes, sir.
You feel me?
Yes, sir. Brother Rick, if you can, same thing. Tell us about, how long did you do in prison? And same thing, your journey and experience throughout it.
Well, I went to prison in '90 for a second-degree murder. So my mindset was when I went to prison, that a lot of people don't know until probably now, I couldn't even read or spell. So when the judge sentenced me, he sentenced us to months. So when you hear 150 months, you think 150 years. So my mindset in prison was, I ain't never coming home. So I'm gonna push it to anybody that comes to my direction. And over the time, meeting Otto and a couple other brothers in here, they slowed me down, Brother used to tell you, read a book, tell me what this book about. Break this book down to me. And it had to come to me being in a hole, reading the dictionary to understand, you know what I'm saying, that I'm bigger than what they said. Because it was a guard told me something in Alger Max. Said, when you get out, you're going to come back. That's when I came to realize I had an out day. But my whole goal was now just to prove them wrong, to prove that, all the tough people is dead. I want to be somebody that somebody can look up to, somebody that can say, yeah, I want to be just like this guy. I failed as a child because I ain't have no direction. I ain't have nobody to teach me right from wrong. They always come up with it take a village to raise a child. Where our village at right now? My village was inside of there. My brothers, they were the village. We raised each other in there. We helped guide each other. We wasn't in there trying to be tough guys and nothing, but we did live by a code up in there. That's what a lot of people fail to understand. It wasn't like that because we give you passes. When we are not going to continue to allow you to disrespect us. And that's what we had. And that's what made us such a threat in there, because we're not going to allow you to disrespect us or what we stand for, because we don't disrespect you. And if we do, we're going to chastise, we're going to discipline ours. And that's what this had made me. It became more disciplined. It humbled me to be who I am right now.
Shoot, that's what we went to the hole for the majority of the time. We ain't go to the hole for no personal issues.
Right. It was always disrespect. Guys like some that come on your platform did. I have never met you. I did 17 years. I should have met you somewhere or seen you somewhere. I know a lot of guys out here, not to even glorify. This is not about who's tough, who's not, to try to stop people from going into this cycle. That's what we want to do. We want to prevent this revolving cycle that's been going on since slavery.
Absolutely.
The penitentiary is nothing but another slave camp. They send you in there, pay you $1.50 for a month, and make millions of dollars off of you, and people don't understand until they get in there. Because first thing a person do when they get in the county jail, who they ask for? God, I'm going to church. They want the Bible, you know what I'm saying? He's out here. Why you not asking for him now? And I used to always see that a lot, like, why you wasn't asking God before you was doing all this old handyman stuff you doing now, you know what I'm saying? They give us guns, there's more guns in our neighborhoods than the manufacturer making right now. How is it getting there? We poor black people, but yet we got more guns, more drugs and everything, but yet you say we is the menace to society. How? How?
Man, that's powerful, bro. And that, like what you speaking on, kind of just put everything into perspective, how we actually falling into the system. You know what I mean? It's a system that's already in motion, and we just another individual that's falling into it if we don't know that the system exists.
Think about the radio, the TV shows. They are already putting a narrative out there for us. You know what I'm saying? They making it okay to. I heard my daughter's rapping something about sucking it out. I said, what is you listening to? Ain't even no expensive parent advisor on nothing no more. You're not even. They're not trying to help the kids nowadays. All they doing is pushing in that direction. They pushing it. This country has the most murder rate. Some child going into a school shooting up everybody. Look at what we are living in right now. We're living in a time that's more destructive now than ever before. They don't even teach us about the time that we once got our 40 acres and a mule in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and we turned that into the real Black Wall Street.
Yes, sir.
We know how to take $1 and let it circulate in that community for a whole year. They not gonna teach you that though. They'll teach you that you bodingle and you doing this, or you'll rap about I'm screwing her and she gonna do this, you know. But they ain't gonna teach you how to be executive protection, nation. That we are business people.
Damn, I didn't know you couldn't read or write when you first came to the church.
Couldn't do it at all.
What are you struggling with them prayers? I didn't know that. Go ahead.
You know, as the brother just alluded to, executive protection. Every brother that's in here right now has overcame those difficult times, and now y'all are all businessmen. Y'all all have your own organizations going on, and y'all all helping the community in your own way. If you can talk about the way that you're helping with your company that you got going on.
Shoot, let me give you a brief history. First of all, when I got out, shoot, I thought all my sisters was queen and all my brothers was kings and opened up the doors and the world was a beautiful place, and I wanted to smell the fresh air and, didn't want to eat no more cook-ups. Reality set in. So I started, a little bit of old me started coming out like, man, how all these suckers out here getting this money? You know what I'm saying? So I started becoming envious and jealousy started popping. I'm like, shoot, I got to get it too. You feel me? So I've been in the wrong place at the wrong time too. So don't get it twisted. I slipped a couple times. However, brother gave me a job opportunity on Joy Road in Hayden. There's a place called Exit 9. That was the first place I started working at. It was a strip club. And a brother named Little, he had a club down the street on Livernois Retirement called Gold Diggers. And he came in there one day, he saw me, Squeeze, and another brother, and he was like, man, I need y'all over there with me. You know what I mean? Because he saw the seriousness of how serious we took our job. Because, shoot, we was used to working in the kitchen on the yard crew. So now we got a job looking at butt on stage, and you know what I'm saying? All we got to do is make sure these clowns is cooperating and we good. So he took us over there, and man, shoot, one thing led to another. I started having people come up to me telling me, man, how much you charge for private security, this, that, and another. So then I was like, you know what? I need to get a company. I need to get an LLC. I need to get insured, the bonding, and all that. So at first I was discouraged because people was telling me, well, man, you're a felon. You can't get this, you can't get that. But now I come to find out, yes, you can, So I ended up getting my LLC. I ended up getting insured. That took a minute because I worked at a dispensary and I had armed security with me there. So people also ask this question. Well, let me ask you this, brother. You a convicted murderer, the felon, and this, that, and other. How in the hell you going to protect somebody if you can't have no gun? And see, like I say, if you know, you know. I keep people around me that is legal. I keep CPL holders around me. I made sure that all my clients are protected to the highest extent. I don't go out. I ain't trying to go back. But I make sure that my people good. The same people that I used to work out on the yard with, 50 and all them, guess what? I bodyguard them now. I got some of the toppest clients in the country. You know what I'm saying? I bodyguard everybody from Cardi to 50 to Tonio Gates to Dr. Cornell West to, man, I can go on and on and on. You know what I'm saying? I don't want one client to get jealous and say, you ain't mention me.
Yeah.
You feel me? But you know what I'm saying? And that's what it is, bro. My company, I take pride in this because it's the first company I ever had. You know what I'm saying? I got a lot of respect in the D right now. You know what I'm saying? I got a lot of contracts in the D right now. I even got police officers cutting into me saying, man, when you gonna let me work? You feel me? That's a long way. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is to to motivate other brothers and sisters that come from being incarcerated for a long period of time, to give them hope and let them know that just because you was locked up don't mean you can't establish something out here. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Because
sir.
I have a daughter that's 10 years old, so I want to be able to provide her something in the future, you know?
100%.
Now, this guy sitting next to me, he got his own company, too. He got a big old white truck outside. He got a handyman on it. Now, I don't know what exactly what handyman do, but...
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're gonna have the brother explain, and then afterwards we gonna bring on 2 more brothers. Yes, sir.
So I came home back when it was a real struggle. Now it's not that hard for guys to come and be re-entering to society with help. I didn't have that when I came home in 05. So I ended up going back for 2 years for guns and stuff because, you know, I figured I had to get it how I can. And I stumbled. I made a mistake again. And when I went back that 2 years, I started reading into real estate. So came home, worked. Well, my mother would do the table and chair rental things when I used to have porta potties, and I bought houses during the recession, the 08, 09 recession. I was buying houses for $500. And then I started paying Mexicans and guys to come and mess up my properties. So I said, okay, I'm going to go to school myself. I went to Northwestern Tech right here off the Lodge in Evergreen and got my certification in HVAC. So now I do electrical, plumbing, drywall, everything myself. And I also allow people to come with me that want to learn the trade. I have brothers, like, they want to come. I said, come on. But you want to make what I make. You can't make what I make because I got an LLC. I got to pay for the insurance of this company. I have overheads. But I do allow brothers, like, if I come to your house to fix something, I'm going to show you what I'm doing so that you can be able to do it yourself. Because I don't want nobody to... Certain people out here in this industry, they're going to come out here and give you a quick fix, and you're going to be calling them probably 6-7 months from now. Me, I'm going to come out, I'm going to show you this is what it is. You can YouTube it and it'll show you, but YouTube only going to show you so much. I'm going to show you the intricate of this that you can get all the way into it, and you're going to know what you're going to know your own, and you can be able to do your own. So as of right now, me and my significant other, we own about 14 houses, and I do the service to all of them. And I also service other people outside what I have. But I do try to help those that don't have the funds to go to school to learn it. You can come on and take a ride with me because I'm working every day, all day. So
you was working for you came in, wasn't you?
Bye. Yeah, I got a job right down the street in Oak Park. I'm about to go wire up a house down the street.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. No, that's dope, man. Even the fact that you educate yourself. You feel me?
Right.
And not one of them type of brothers that's trying to lock a person out of the knowledge and the opportunities. You know, because you got a lot of people that will make it to a certain level and try to, you know what I mean,
like
keep people.
Do.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that's definitely a beautiful thing, brother. Yes, sir. In continuation, if you brothers can, let's start off by introducing yourself to the people, letting them know, A, who you are, and then B, how much time did you do, and the same thing, your journey in and out.
That's good. My name is G. Ford. I did 37 years flat, 37 and a half. And I had a rough journey. The department, they basically classified me as a security threat. Not because I was a security threat, but only because of the work that I was doing with the young prisoners inside the prison, which was raising the level of their consciousness. And that can be a threat, to the department, because if you have this kind of influence, then the department is kind of afraid of that kind of influence, especially if a prisoner have that kind of influence over the body of the prisoners.
Yes, sir.
So my stay in prison was kind of rough, but because I was strong and because of my spiritual background, I was able to overcome a lot of the obstacles that was placed in my way. I was a spiritual advisor for maybe 25 to 30 years of the Melanic Palace of the Rising Sun. So my job and my duty was to guide the community or the brothers in accordance with the messages of the prophets, Moses, Jesus, etc. And so that basically was my work. So my work was to uplift, fallen humanity in many different ways. So that was a threat in so many ways.
Yeah.
So my journey was kind of rough.
Yes, sir. Brother, if you may.
My name is JMO. I served 31 years. I went into the system at the age of 15 years old. Became a member of the Melanic Palace, I believe, like 1998. AutoX introduced me to the organization, like one of my first mentors to the organization. Spent quite a few years in solitary confinement in level 5, and like so many of us, we came into the system in an abnormal environment, and you can expect you're gonna get abnormal behavior. For a lot of us, the theology of the Melanic Palace saved us. It transformed us to where we wanted to be better human beings, better men, coming home to be potential fathers and husbands and things of that nature. And that's my journey, like so many of their journeys. Prison. One thing I don't do, and I encourage, we can't glorify that time there because we were being oppressed. We were being denied. Some of us witnessed men commit suicide, strong men on the yard, but when they was placed in solitary confinement, commit suicide, or attempt to commit suicide, or just lose their total mental health. So to see that on a daily basis, to hear people screaming and crying, it affects you no matter if you want it to affect you or not. So that's a trauma you taking on. It's not even your trauma.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir. Brother, if I may ask you, in the penitentiary, although the Melanics is responsible for the development of so many black men, as you all brothers sit here today, it's also maybe a warped perception of a violent, group, or, because you brothers' services was actually taken. You know what I mean?
Right.
What would you say, to that misnomer or that that misunderstanding that people may have about you brothers?
Well, let's look at it. History is replete with an organization being demonized. History is replete with individuals being demonized. It's the work that we do. And then if you just look at the prophets like Jesus and the work that he did, his work was he went from town to town. He walked the highways, the byways. He saw the blind, he made them see. He saw the deaf, he made them hear. He raised the dead back up to life. These are the things that we as Melanics must do. When we say he saw the blind and made them see, that doesn't necessarily mean he made them literally see. But what that does mean is that we have our brothers walking in the wrong direction and not able to see, the goals and the future, then where there's no vision, the people will perish.
Yes, sir.
So our work is to make that young brother see the direction in which he's going. And so, quite naturally, if history is replete with the opposition, trying to demonize us, trying to stop us from reaching our goals, then what I would say and how I would speak to this misnomer concerning Melanic Islamic Palace of the Rising Sun is that we have to boldly move forward into the future with promise and hope and joy and without fear and without discouragement. And so I just say to people and brothers that, look, stand where God puts you. Have faith. Be able to move a mountain, but don't fear. And so these misnomers is what they are, misnomers.
may I just add to that point?
Yes, sir, brother.
Now, when you think about the history of the Melanic Palace of Rising Sun and our prison ministry, 90% of our followers was in level 1s and level 2s.
we only had a very small percentage of our brothers in level 5s and level 4s. I think at the average service, you have about 10 brothers that service in level 5s. In our lower levels, you have 50 to 100. So when you in the abnormal environment, we are a religious institution that was committed to transform people's life. We're in an abnormal environment. Things are going to happen. People in your membership, everybody in your membership are not going to follow all the creeds and laws of your organization. And the Melanics Palace is no different than the Catholic Church. If we held the Catholic Church accountable for all the children that were molested under their leadership, they should be SCG'd around the whole country.
That's right.
But the same classification they classify us, the Nation of Islam, Moors, Sons of Mary, they don't put those designations on the Catholic Church or Christian Church, and they have done way more devastation in our communities throughout the world in humanity. So for people to say, okay, members of the Melanic Palace have done certain things, yes, members have done certain things. But when you think about all the brothers' lives we saved, a lot of altercations took place, didn't have nothing to do with us. But the Melanic Palace son and brothers in the Moor Sons, we had a commitment. We were not going to allow young black males to come in penitentiary and be preyed on. So we stopped a lot of people from potentially being raped, molested, robbed, beat, and everything. And if we would count those numbers, trust me, the Melanic Palace son will get a Nobel Peace Prize for that work.
That's right.
You know, many of our brothers came in that couldn't read, write, or spell. Now when you look at them, we have brothers sitting on national stage. Brother Shaka, he sit on the stage with Oprah Winfrey. Brother Dr. Yusuf, Brother Quasi. We have so many great brothers that came through the theology and chains of the Melanic Palace son that's having a great impact in our community right to this day.
Man, that's beautiful, brother. It's a whole like epidemic on social media with the word melanin. In 2022, 23, that word just became like something that, oh, we melanated and, you know, but this is something that you brothers been teaching.
That's right.
From way back.
Yeah.
If you can talk about, even when you hear the word melanic, the root word of melanic being melon, you know, if you can elaborate on that a little bit and, you know, the significance of you having that attached to, you know, the religion or the way of life.
Well, what we try to teach is that in actuality, we are melanic people. The word melanic is a variance of a word known as melanin. You just spoke on that. And melanin is the dark pigmentation in our skin, our eyes, our hair, and it basically makes us who we are. So what we say is that we don't attach ourselves to the landmass. In other words, for example, America. Well, we know Americo explored this land and named it after him. So are we children of Americo? And when we talk about Africa, we know that Africanus explored that land and made that land and named that land after him. So are we, you know, children of Africanus? See, so what we found is that when we say melanic, we talking about the dark pigmentation. We talking about a biological composition, you know, that was created by God himself. And so this word melanic and melanin is one of the same words. And when you look at that word, you realize that it's really in the whole creation, you know, so God himself is responsible. Not the landmass that somebody named after themselves, but God himself is responsible for the creation of this soul.
Yeah, beautiful breakdown, brother.
Thank you.
Upon you brothers transition, and then after this, we can bring you two brothers back on. I'm going to have a brother come and you come on with them. Upon you brothers making it through that hard time, transitioning home, as you had your hat on earlier with, I don't know if it's your company. Yes, sir. If you can, talk about establishing that, what inspired you to start that. And then, brother, you do the same with what you doing in the community.
Well, I started, you know, when I came home, you know, I always had the mindset, you know, I had to redeem myself for the actions that took place 31 years of my life. When I came home, one of my first opportunities with AutoX, working in security, like, brother, I got a thing. We gonna go somewhere with this. It's gonna be beneficial to me and everybody else. And I started doing security with executive protection and continue to do security with him. But I just had an aspiration to carry out the mission of the Melanic Palace, and that was serve humanity in our community. So when I came home, I started my own nonprofit, which is actually Rising Sun Inc. Incorporated. And what we do for the last 7 years, incorporate with the Melanic Palace, we feed 300-400 families a week. And we've been doing it probably the last 5 years in the city of Detroit and the city of Inkster, Michigan, and surrounding communities. I became a commissioner of housing, which I'm currently still is. Housing is a big issue in our community. So to have someone formerly incarcerated sit on the housing commission was a big thing in that city and was appointed by the leadership, the mayor and the city council to that appointment. And just my work with Nation Outside, I began and get involved with Nation Outside back in 2017, and we was big on advocacy, advocating to change laws in our state to guarantee people coming home had access to voting, access to housing, access to job opportunities. And I done my work with Brother Knuckles Ill with Michigan Liberation, where we done a lot of work on encouraging people and getting people engaged in the community and voting.
Yes, sir.
Getting people to understand that men and women formerly incarcerated, we are the stakeholders, we are the voice, we have a voting block, we just got to use it, we have to vote. So since I've been home, that's been my work, working with Michigan Liberation, doing my work as a director in Nation Outside, doing my work as a spiritual advisor and legal advisor with the Melanics Palace, and doing my work as a commissioner to help people get affordable housing in our communities. And again, just doing my work as a president and CEO of Rising Sun Inc. So
Beautiful.
And my job, AutoX often put me in responsibility of being a manager on certain sites and security for executive protection. So, our goal is to provide protection for our young people, our children. Executive protection, we do a lot of work in the community, a lot of work. People don't even be knowing it because we don't Facebook.
Yeah.
We're not doing it for show. We're doing it for the people.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Beautiful, beautiful. You, brother?
Well, I didn't mention that I just came home.
Ah,
I don't think I've been
Welcome
home,
brother. Yes,
yeah,
sir.
I don't think I've been home a month yet.
oh, wow.
Yeah. What's the date?
Today is October the 18th.
I've been home 1 month and 1 day.
Ah, man.
And these young men, when we was inside, I was their spiritual advisor. So when I came home, I had brothers like J-Mo, Nation Outside, like Otto, his executive protection, and many other brothers.
Yes, sir.
And they really helped me make this transition.
Yes, sir.
So far as having some organization that I'm leading, no, I'm just with these guys.
Man, that's beautiful,
and
man.
Hey, look at me. This brother got me dressed up.
Hey, that's why. Hey, brother,
that
that's
brother
why.
got me dressed up. I mean, I'm wearing their clothes that they actually contributed to me. I mean, but that just shows the seriousness of the work that they're doing. And I'm so proud of these brothers, man, because it's not sweet sounding words. It's action.
Yes, sir.
And so I'm proud of these. I'm proud to be with these brothers today, and giving my testimony here.
Man, and that's the thing too, man, because obviously what you've been teaching, what you've been studying, it obviously works, brother. Because me
works.
looking at you, brother, like
Yeah.
I don't see the dross
No.
of it on you
And
by you just coming out.
Yeah.
Like, brother, you glowing, you looking good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
And let me tell you, the trauma is real. It is really real. I mean, because, I came out to a whole new world, a world I never knew, a world I never existed in. And like I tell J-Mo and everybody else, the technology is so profound that it'll scare you. So, I got guys like J-Mo and them around me. They teaching me a lot, man. They really are.
yes, sir.
So I appreciate them brothers, and Knuckles Ills and his organization. And they brought me a bag of clothes and a bag of socks. He brought me a bag of clothes, a bag of cosmetics. I mean, they was fixing me up, man.
Yes, sir.
And listen, I needed it. Had I not had these brothers, there's no telling what I might have tried.
Man,
And I thank these brothers.
beautiful, beautiful. Yes, sir, brother. First thing that stand out to me, and I don't know if that's your last name or if you got Knuckles ill because of them putting their hands on brothers. If you can, brother, introduce yourself and just like the other brothers, talk about how much time did you do and your going throughout that time and then transition home.
Well, my name Demetrius Knuckleseal. My name is Demetrius Knuckleseal. I served 28 years in prison, and my actual name is Knuckles. That's my last name. People always believed that was our nicknames because we always fought. But that was our nickname as well, but people didn't know that was our actual real name as well. So my name is Demetrius Knuckleseal. 28 years served in Michigan Department of Corruption, and going in at 17 years old, and we're going in and out of the youth home since I was age 9, and then finally making that great leap of stupidity to prison, not realizing that my stupidity would lead me to a university that we made the prison out to be for us, and then running into so many brothers and not learning my lessons and kept bumping my head like Otto was just saying about just being wild and just doing the most stupidest stuff you could imagine we was doing. And it didn't dawn on me till I turned 26 years old. And I was in the hole at that time. I was in the hole, I think, 6 of my 9 years at the time. And I realized, I said, man, I got life without parole in prison. I got to get the hell out of here. And it was then, in that very moment, sitting in that segregation cell. I didn't wait till tomorrow or the next day. It was in that very moment that I changed my life. I stopped cussing. 1999, stopped cussing, stopped. My whole perspective changed because I realized that if I didn't change with a life without parole bit, that I was going to be sitting in prison for the rest of my life. And I didn't want that. And so I changed my life. After all the stuff that I had been through in prison and seen some of my friends that came in there with short bits and they never made it out. Some came in there with short bits and they got long bits now. So the ones that didn't make it out perished. The other ones that didn't make it out got long bits and they still in there to this very day. And as stupid a decisions as I was making, I was fortunate enough that the police always looked at me and said, you better be glad that you got life, because if you didn't have life, we'll charge you. So my life bit, Allah, allowing me to recognize my life bit, preserved me so I can end up getting out of that life bit.
Wow. And brother, you said something. If you may, you can go through. It's okay. You said something that stood out to me, brother. You said that you, if I'm not mistaken, I heard this right. You did 9 years in the hole.
Yeah, I mean that's nothing in Michigan. My friend been in the hole for 37 years so far, and they still say they never let them out. So for us to do 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, Michigan has the worst prison system in the United States when it comes to segregation. Prisoners in Michigan serve the most time throughout any state in the United States. We serve 100 to 150% of our time in Michigan, and when we go to segregation, we serve years, where other states have outlawed segregation altogether. Michigan hasn't.
Wow. For those who may not know, Knuckles ill. That ill means something. Moorish Science Temple of America. Talk about the impact of that way of life and how it transformed your mindset, the benefits of it, and just kind of educate people on it if they may not know.
It's funny because I listened to their story, and some of it I didn't know. But I found the Moorish Science Temple of America because I used to go to the Nation of Islam service back in 87, 88, 89, and 90, off and on, not regularly, but I would go when there was something big going on. I got to prison, and I studied under the Sunni Muslim literature, and I studied under the Melanic literature, because all my friends was Melanics and Sunni Muslims that I knew in the society, and Moors. So I prided myself on learning a lot from different schools of thought. So the Nation of Islam was already embedded in me. The Moors, my brother and them was Moors in society before I went. The Melanics, my uncle and them was in the Melanics before I even knew anything about the Moors. The Sunni Muslims was all around my neighborhood. So I came to prison, and as I said, I engaged in that stupidity, not realizing that that stupidity would land me in a university that I would have to wake up to, which was the school of knowledge and school of thought that we got in this room today. And so that when I joined the Moors was 1991. And to be very transparent and honest, I joined the Moors not just because my brother and my cousin and them was Moors, and a lot of my friends and them was Moors, because they always try to pull you in. I joined the Moors because I was like, you know what? I like the name. I like the eel in the bay on the name. I like that, right? I didn't even understand it, but I liked it. And then a brother started breaking it down what the eel mean, Elohim, the creative spirit of God Allah, the bay, the governing spirit of God. So I started getting into understanding what it means. And in prison, in my time, they would name you, where we don't do that now, because we realize that man names themselves. You don't never let nobody name you, because if they name you, they'll tame you. So when I got ill on my name, a brother came to me. He said, no, I want to know what you want, because they named me. But he was like, no, brother, I want to know what you want. My man, Rodney Little Bay. R.I.P. to him. He came to me and said, man, I want you to, what do you want to do? And I told him what I want to do. I said, yeah, I like that, because he broke down the eel in the bay to me. And so my actions subscribe to that creative spirit, because I'm always thinking and being creative. Not that I can't govern anything, but my most prevalent attribute is creative. I got creative ideas all running through my mind as we speak right now. So that's how I ended up at the Moorish Sign Temple of America. And I never strayed away from the Moorish Sign Temple of America. But the one thing about me that a lot of brothers have been pissed off at, that I don't care because they ain't gonna do nothing to me, is the fact that I embrace everybody still. I don't get caught up in old beefs, and I don't get caught up in I'm the Moor, so I don't do none of that, because I'm me. I represent me. And ain't nobody gonna represent you the way that you can represent you. But you gotta stand 10 toes down at all. You can't be faking. You can't be open and honest today and not tomorrow. It's either you are or you ain't. And I've always been who I am today.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 100%. I see your shirt, Good Heart. What it says, Good Heart Youth, the Great Minds Project, investing in the hearts and minds of the people. What is that about? What inspired you to begin that journey in particular?
Wow. When I was in the hole that day, and I changed my life in 1999, and what made me change as far as me realizing that I had life without parole in prison is I remember all them brothers. And I ain't talking about no Moors. I'm talking about all the brothers. The brother JX, my man Pasquale, that was my guy. That was really my guy, Pasquale and JX. Pepper Mo. All these guys pulling me aside and knocking on my head, saying, man, wake up, man. You can get out. Out of re-education, you can get out. You got to stop acting stupid. It took me 6 years to realize, interpret some of the language that they was trying to convey to me that was lost in translation. From their mouth through my stupidity. It was lost in translation. So by the time it hit the center of my mind, I had lost contact with whatever they were saying until 6 years later. And I said, man, I want to start an organization. I was in a hole. I said, I want to start an organization that pay homage to all the brothers and the sisters that came up to visit me, worked in the units with me and taught me and helped raise me. I want to start an organization that pay homage to all of those great minds. And I said, I'm going to call it the Great Minds Project. That was 1999. I got out. My nephew had Good Heart Youth already gone. I didn't want to let go of my name. He ain't want to let go of his name. And I liked it. And then the goal of this was to end the school to prison pipeline. So we try to mentor to youth with incarcerated parents and mentor to parents with incarcerated youth. And try to mentor to the community so no youth can end up where we ended up at. So that's how this came about, investing in the hearts and the minds of the people.
That's beautiful, brother. Man, that's powerful, man. Y'all brothers got some very impactful work that's going on, and I'm super glad that we had the opportunity to do this, because I know the impact of what this is gonna do for a lot of people, brother.
I just wanted you asked a question when I was on the sideline when the brother G Ford and J-Mo was helping pertaining to the Melanics, right? Mm-hmm. I just want to touch on that real quick because I know we got to close. The Melanic Islamic Palace of the Rising Sun, we've been given a black eye for a long time. And it's no surprise to us. Because who expects mercy from your enemy? Right. It's sort of like when we incarcerated in prison and they come along on Christmas and give us a Christmas bag, and we look in and we see there's 2 Snickers in there instead of 1. Oh my God, they looked out for us this year. Look on the Christmas list. They got candy on it, they got caramel, and you're surprised because you're getting something from the oppressor. So it doesn't surprise me when one talks negative about us, especially when we doing something right.
That's right.
See, the one thing in prison that they couldn't stand about me personally, and brothers like G Ford, J-Mo, and this brother here, we were leaders. They can't stand no strong black man to be on their yard, because what we do is we become contagious, and we take those who can't lead themselves and we motivate them. First thing we do, we talk to them their own language. We go out to the basketball court, shoot ball with them, hit that pull-up bar. Come on, brother, let's get in shape. And next thing you know, we got them going to service. We got them reading our literature. We got them interpreting the true meaning of the Bible, the true meaning of the Holy Quran. You know what I mean? So now, administration is paying attention to all this because they're trying to figure out how in the hell did Auto X take this young wild guy right here that's doing 20 to 40, who keeps getting on top lock, LOP, and won't listen to the staff, but he got him going to service, dressing accordingly, and moving like a soldier. Too much power for one black man to have. That's what they told Malcolm back in the day, am I right?
Yes, they did.
So that's how they played the Melanics. See, we got the negative criticism because of the positivity that we were spreading amongst brothers. Don't get it twisted. We got flaws too, just like any other man. But our good outweighs our bad. You mean? See what I mean? And I'm going to give you just as a quick example, brother, how they play games in there. I was up in URF, and I was the commander on the yard. The deputy warden told me, brother, as long as don't no stabbings take place on our yard when you're here, I'll send you anywhere you want to go, this, that, and other, right? And I'm like, brother, I can't control nobody. They say, yes, you can. Yes, you can. I'm like, brother, no, I can't. You know what I'm saying? I'm just here to make sure me and mine is good. You feel me? So then how they play me, brother. We were on our way walking the child. Early in the morning, you know how the sun's just now finna come out. We on our way walking the child off Earth. White boy come from out of nowhere, crack a guy in the head with a lock in the sock. Boom, bust his head wide open, right? He laying on the ground. We walk over him. It ain't none of our brothers. It ain't none of our business. You know what I'm saying? And we know how this goes. If you stand around too long, you're going to be associated with it. So we go to child. We go to child. I'm sitting in there. My penitentiary instincts kick up. All the brothers look around. Police ain't, they looking around. It's extra police in the child hall. We wondering like, what's going on? And then we see, you can feel the silence in the child. So you know something to take place. So I get up. All my Melanic brothers get up. I go to walk through the door. Here come the police coming at me. Turn around. Allow yourself to be handcuffed. Handcuffed for what? You just committed an assault. I said, I just did what? They said, yeah, you got to go. I said, I ain't going no damn where, right? Now, this time, my brothers, my soul eyes, they surround me with me, and they like, he ain't going nowhere. So now they trying to negotiate. You know what I'm saying? Now, this is the second time I got into it where I had to stand off with the police. The other one's at Berriga. But anyway, they trying to convince me to go to the hole for something I didn't do. But the brothers wasn't buying it, and I wasn't buying it either. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, man, I ain't going to the hole. We can do this the easy way, the hard way. It don't make me no difference, but I'm not going to the hole for somebody did. So they call up the control center to a lieutenant or somebody who thought he was, he had a good rapport with us. You know what I'm saying? He come over there, he tell my brother, Otto, let us just talk to you, bro. I'm not going to let you stay in the hole, this, other, but we don't need this, et cetera, et cetera. I said, all right, man. I'll tell the brother, stand down. I'm going to walk over to the segregation unit. I go over to the segregation unit. You know how that go. They locked me up. They know I didn't do it. But guess what they did? They played the mind games. They knew the brothers weren't going to allow me to stay in the hole for something I didn't do. By lunchtime, the guy that cracked him in the head turned himself in the control center and said, I'm the one that did it. Because he couldn't stay on that yard. You see what I'm saying? There's no way the brothers was going to let him stay on that yard as long as I was in that hole for something I didn't do. Administration knew that. So they played the game. You see what I'm saying? They knew my brothers weren't going to allow that. And see, some people may look at that and be like, oh, that's something negative. Your brothers did that. No, they had my back.
That's right.
Administration don't like that when you got that kind of support. Yeah, I was transferred very soon after that. You know what I'm saying? But that's just an example, brother. I just had to touch on that to let brothers know, like, hey, listen, man, you're going to hear a lot of negative stuff about, yeah, the Melanics was just, no, we just didn't buy nothing. We refused to be disrespected, whether it be you or whether it be administration. We just stood on all 10 when it came to our religious belief, bro. And that's that, you know?
Yes, sir. 100%.
Let me add something. Executive protection. I've been with executive protection too. I'm probably the greater of the executive protection, right? It used to be when you see him, you see me. That's how it used to be a few years ago because we had a lot of big details. But I've been with executive protection since basically since I've been out, but I really been full force for the last like 4 years. And also I'm with an organization called Michigan Liberation where we fight to end mass incarceration. We go up the land, so we fight to get laws passed. We're 501c4 organization which allows us to involve ourselves in elections, politicians, and all of this type of stuff, do some lobbying. And a few of us are responsible for, in Oakland County, there was 22 juvenile lifers from Oakland County in prison. We was very instrumental in having a meeting with the prosecutor. Once we got her elected and getting 20 of that 22 juvenile lifers resentenced, and some of them are out today. That's the work that we do at Michigan Liberation.
Beautiful, beautiful, man.
Appreciate you, brother.
Yes, sir, man. Well, it definitely was an honor to have all of you brothers in. If possible, could you say your Instagram or your social media, and I'm gonna actually have all, the brothers say.
Well, mine is executive protection in the D. Basically, everybody in the D know who I am. You know what I'm saying? Come check me out at Checkmate Detroit. I'm there every day. You know what I'm saying? I ain't hard to find. We everywhere. You know what I mean? So, and for those who's interested in these brothers' organizations, they'll give you their information. We still pass out food to the homeless. Jamie will give you guys that information. And those who are interested in learning about what we are about the Melanics, I'm Positive Riding Son, we'll also give you that information as well.
Yes, sir.
J-Mo, you can do that, give them that information and whatnot. You can tell me your history.
Demetrius Knucklezeal on all social media platforms, or you can look me up under the Great Minds Project 5.0.
Yes,
that's
sir.
the podcast, that's the Facebook, everything else.
Yes, sir.
The Melanic Palace, Rise Son, and Rise Son Inc. Food distribution, we do that. The first, second, and third Monday in Detroit at 901 Melbourne at Nazarene Missionary Baptist Church, our partnership with Kevin Harris. And we pass out food in the city of Inkster the first, second Friday, and the third Saturday of the month at the Simmons Center in the city of Inkster. We out there.
Yes, sir.
We boots on the ground every day.
For you in particular, brother, do you have a Cash App? Do you know?
I don't have anything right
Okay,
now.
we want to get
I'm
that,
just
brother.
getting my feet in the concrete, and I don't have a social media. But I have written a book, and I'm trying to get it published. Oh, I have written a book, and I'm trying to get it published. Mm-hmm. It's called The Three Axes of Evil: Racism, Poverty, Mass Incarceration. So these are the platforms that you're going to see me dangling on,
yes,
out in social media or whatever. But right now, I don't have a social media platform.
Yes, sir. And so what we will do is these brothers that's around, if you brothers want to make any type of donations and assist our brother who's doing tremendous work already, with the brothers and planning on, like he said, his book, anything to help the cause, man, y'all can contact these brothers to make any type of donations to our big brother, man. So that's what it is, man. Auto X, I appreciate you, brother. The Foreign Magazine, Pulse of the Culture. Let's get it.
Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Yes, sir.